Hello everyone, this is ShadowMario41 and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Strikers. It's time to wrap up the Mushroom Cup. We have one more match to go against Yoshi, but while I am facing off against rookie level computers, and I don't have to focus too much on talking about the game or really focusing on the game, I can kind of go through the motions and probably win. I do want to bring up a discussion that I've been meaning to talk about in one of my videos, and what better time to do it? I want to talk about the sport of football, or soccer as we call it here in the United States. I don't like that name either. I don't know why we just don't call it football, and why American football is even called football in the first place. I know the ball's a foot long, but it still doesn't make any sense. Why are we even using the English system? Why don't we use the metric system? Anyway, getting way off track, but yeah, the sport of soccer, I'm going to call it soccer because I'm talking about the United States soccer. When I say football, I mean the global phenomenon and success that is football. You have like the English Premier League, and you have all the stuff that goes on with the Euro Cup, and you have like all over the world, it is a phenomenally popular and exciting sport. Why in the United States then is soccer, which is the same sport, why is it not popular here in the United States? Why is the MLS, Major League Soccer, such a joke? Why does no one care about it? Well, actually I have several theories about that. One thing if you notice about, just took out Yoshi with some red shells. One thing you notice about soccer here is that, obviously it's not popular, but think about this. Think about your home sports team. Even if you're not a sports guy, think about your basketball team, your baseball team, your American football team, whatever team. You might not be able to follow it religiously or anything like that, but you could probably name one player on the team, right? You could probably name who your team plays against. There's a goal by Toad. You could probably name your main rival of your team. You could probably name, who the team plays against, or relatively even how the team is doing. You know if they're a good team, you know if they're a bad team, you know if they're okay, middle of the road. But I couldn't tell you, I mean, it might be shameful to say this, but my home team, obviously, you should know that I'm a big New England sports fan. I live in New England, so I like the Boston Red Sox, New England Patriots, Boston Bruins, Boston Celtics, and by extension, the New England Revolution, which is the soccer team here. But I honestly couldn't tell you one player on the New England Revolution. I couldn't tell you who the New England Revolution's rival was. I couldn't tell you any superstars in Major League Soccer other than when David Beckham had his brief stint here years ago. But that's the underlying problem with the MLS, this Major League Soccer here in the United States, is it's essentially minor leagues for soccer over there, for football over in Europe. Everyone who's like not quite good enough to make the English Premier League or any of the Euro leagues there, they play here. Oh, look at this. Perfect super strike by Mario. Oh, that's so epic. I love the chanting that the game does. It's just, that sets up for such a fantastically epic strike. It's so great. But anyway, that's kind of the problem. The MLS does not have superstars. It doesn't. I mean, I'm not doubting the talents of the players. I know soccer, I've actually played soccer myself, not for very long, but I know it's a very physically demanding sport. I don't doubt that at all. I'm not doubting the athleticism or the ability of any of the athletes here. I'm just saying that there's no star power. You never hear about big name contracts. You never hear about, oh, look at that, Mario with another goal. You never hear about rivalries in the MLS. There's no competition in the sense that teams don't get excited. I'm not going to say, oh, the Revolution's playing the I don't even know another team, the Galaxy, LA Galaxy. I can't draw that comparison and get excited about that because there are no rivalries. People are not territorial about football here because it doesn't have those big name players. It doesn't have that network coverage. That's another thing, is if you even want to watch a football game, it's not even on TV. You can't even find it. So anyway, that's a big problem, and I think it's such a great sport. That's kind of the shame of it, because soccer and football is such a fun sport that I don't know why. Oh, yeah, there's a goal there. With a goal! Oh, I didn't score. I shouldn't be celebrating. What am I doing? Anyway, I just like screaming that whenever I can. But yeah, I just can't get into it for that reason. Now, this year coming up is a big year for soccer here in the United States, or football, because ESPN, which is obviously the major sports network here in the United States, just signed a big deal with Major League Soccer. For the next few years, they're going to be doing a lot of coverage about the league and showcasing a lot of games, and they have a lot of World Cup games, are of course on TV. But so they're going to be promoting the hell out of the MLS, and they're really going to try to elevate this thing and really try to get viewership. So I think this is a big time for the MLS, and by extension, the United States men's team, because the United States football team right now, if they do well in the World Cup, not saying they're going to win the World Cup, because I think that's kind of an unrealistic expectation, but if they do well, if they get out of this group and they make it to the next round, or stay in this thing for 3 out of the 4 weeks that it's going on, that could really be a big deal. People here could get behind that, watching their home team, and that could lead to the MLS getting more popular. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. I think it's multiple years in the works, but I think we can do it. Another reason, though, why I think football is not a popular sport here is, oh, Bowser! It's Bowser! Oh, jeez. Get out of the way! No! Stop that! Stop! Give me the ball! Oh, no. Chaos. Chaos is happening. Okay. Is he gone? He's gone. That shell's still bouncing around down there. That was insane. That was insanity. But another reason why it's not a big deal here is I don't think it appeals to what is currently marketed about sports here in the United States. Whenever there's a big sports story, it's always about a very physical play. You know, our most popular sport, I think undoubtedly I could say that currently our most popular sport here is American football, or, you know, with players with the helmets, and they hit each other really hard, it's really physical, and all that type of stuff. I think that is undoubtedly the most popular sport here. I think baseball is fading in popularity, and I think basketball is kind of, I don't know, basketball is kind of strange, but it kind of goes in waves. I think peaks and valleys is basketball. And hockey is gaining a lot of popularity too. I think that's because they are physical sports. And I think that Americans, in general, the American mindset is that they like that physical type of sport. They see people hitting each other, and it looks really tough and gritty, and they like that. They like that type of thing. And now I, of course, live in the United States as well, and I kind of have to agree with my own mentality. Look at that, Mario wins 4-1. So to wrap this up, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I think in football, you don't see that physical contact as much. It is a physical sport, of course. There we go. Look at that. The Mushroom Cup champion, Mario. Look, I need to think of some team names. I need to think of some creative team names. So there we go. The Mushroom Cup for Mario. And football soccer rather, doesn't have that nature to it. You always hear about flops in soccer. It has that reputation of players taking dives after barely even getting touched, you know? And I think it's missing that physical element to it. Not saying it should become a physical sport at all, but I think that might be part of the reason why it doesn't appeal to the people here. But I think first and foremost, it's the fact that you don't have rivalries. You don't have people that are territorial about their soccer teams or their football teams. You don't have people that are that really look forward to a matchup, or you don't even see it marketed. You don't see, oh, you know, such and such a team is playing another team. This is a big divisional rivalry. You don't see that type of coverage on TV, and I think that's part of the problem. Is not only does it, it's not marketed enough, but you don't even hear about it. I don't even hear about it in a casual conversation at all. And I'm a big sports nut, if you couldn't tell by now. So yeah, I think it's kind of a shame that it's not popular here. And the last reason I think is, as I take the Mushroom Cup right now, the last reason, major reason, is because America. It's kind of a shame because, and it's almost kind of I don't really know the word, conceited, I want to say, but look at that, I can play a Kaga Coliseum. It's almost kind of conceited because Americans don't like to root for themselves, I think, as the underdogs. We like to see ourselves as dominant in a lot of sports. We're one of the most dominant countries in the world, one of the most dominant economic superpowers, and it's true. Those are all true statements. Militaristically, it's like not even, well, I shouldn't say that, but, and Americans don't like to see themselves as underdogs, and clearly the MLS and the United States soccer team is not as good as the teams over in Europe and all that type of stuff. And that's why I think we don't like it. The sport itself of football is not American. And while someone like me, I love that it's such a global thing, generally I think people here in America might not like that concept of, oh, well, America, it wasn't started here in America. But anyway, next time I'm going to be starting the Flower Cup. That's my long rant. If you want to contribute, feel free to do so in the comments. What I want you guys to do is vote on the next captain as well that I want to use. Pick between the ones we haven't used and pick a sidekick. Pick the ones we haven't used. So I use Mario and Toad, so don't vote for them. I'd like you to vote for Hammer Brothers, Koopa, Birdo, or any one of the remaining captains that I have not used. And I want you guys to make the team for the Flower Cup. I'm excited. I'm going to do this at the end of every round. So there's a lot to comment on in this video. This is Shadow Mario 41. This is Super Mario Strikers. I will see you guys next time. Ciao.